Hello everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at On Being in Essence by St. Thomas Aquinas. We're going to be doing the prologue and chapter 1 today, which is named On the Meanings of Being in Essence. A small mistake in the beginning becomes a big mistake in the end. Because of this, Aquinas wants to start at the very beginning with the words being in essence and proceed to the other topics, because if you don't start here, you will end somewhere which is entirely incorrect. So first, the plan of the treatise. The treatise will clarify the meanings and the actual existence of the ideas of being in essence, and it will go on to talk about the relationship to the logical intentions of genus, species, and difference. Insofar as genus, species, and difference are related to being in essence, that is. If you're interested in stuff on genus, species, and difference, I've posted other videos on the subject of the isogogy, which will cover it. Okay, the first object of the intellect. Being is the first thing known by the intellect. This is something that you can know just by checking. The objects you know all exist, believe it or not. And you can even know of objects and know that they exist without knowing what they are. For instance, if you see a motion but you don't know what you're looking at, you know that it exists, you just don't know what it is. Or if you hear a sound, you know there's something there, you just don't know what is there. Definitions of being. Being is variously known as what has an essence, that which allows an essence a mind-independent existence, and that which makes an essence knowable. Now, the problem with all of these is that while they may be properties of being, they aren't actual definitions. So a real definition in the scholastic terminology is a definition which is a composition of genus and difference which contracts to a species. But because there's nothing more general than being, there can be no genus in that to define the category of being. Two meanings of being. The first meaning of being is that which is divided into the 10 categories. These will be things like posture, time, place, substance, and then the second meaning is that which an affirmative proposition can be formulated of. So think of, well, anything that you can say something true about. Bob is blind. Jill is green. Jill probably shouldn't be green, but that's her issue. Okay. For the first meaning, this only applies to things that actually have some kind of positive existence. It doesn't apply to things which are privations or simply beings of reason. This is talking about objects that are out there in the world. These are the correlates of essence. Essence comes from this idea of being divided into the 10 categories, because essence only actually exists in things which are out there in the world which exist. And essence, as this idea of the nature of a thing, is common to all 10 of the genera. And then the second meaning will include things that just aren't positive items, like privations or negations. Like the fact that humans don't have wings is a true proposition, but it's simply a negation. It's not like a positive object out there in the world, and it's not the correlate of essence. Then we have the many names of essence. These are variously quiddity, essence, and nature. Quiddity, specifically, is clarified to be that which is signified by essence. So essence is the definition, and quiddity is the definitum, or the thing defined by the essence. And then there are various meanings that are given to the word essence. This is whatever can be grasped by the intellect, that which differentiates real beings, something which answers the question, what is it? The total determination of a real being, that which makes it this thing instead of that thing. That which makes something capable of being known, a real being ordered to produce certain effects, and then something in virtue of which real beings are there. All of these are true things that you can say of essences, but none of them, again, strictly defines essence, because there will be no more general terms that the essence sits inside of. So there can be no definition by genus and species, or genus and difference. Then we have being and substance. Aquinas says that being is said primarily of substances and without qualification of substances. And essence is also said primarily of substances because essence is the correlate of being. And then it's secondarily said of accidents because they only exist in another, they don't exist through themselves. Essence is said of both simple and composed substances, though Aquinas says that the more noble essences are simple because it is from simplicity that complex beings will arise. They can only exist if simple beings cause them. And then he notes that God is one such being which causes the complexity of everything in the world. And that'll be all for Chapter 1. Hope you learned something.